Have you ever just looked up at the sky during a thunderstorm and wondered, what is actually happening up there? I mean, from a little rain shower to a huge spinning hurricane, storms are some of the most powerful things on the planet. So today, we're going to break down the science of what really makes a storm. Let's get into it.
But first, I've got a question for you. What could a massive, destructive tornado possibly have in common with the drain in your bathtub? It sounds a little weird, I know, but the answer actually unlocks one of the biggest secrets of how storms work. Hang on to that thought, because we're definitely coming back to it.
All right, here's our game plan. We'll start with the basics. What even is a storm? Then we'll get into the 3 key ingredients needed to make one. After that, we'll uncover that secret behind why they spin. We'll also compare 2 of the most famous storms out there, and we'll wrap up with 5 key things you'll want to remember. Okay, first things first. What really makes a storm a storm? You know, what separates it from just a gloomy, rainy day? Let's get a nice, clear definition. So, at its very core, a storm is just a huge disturbance in the atmosphere. The key word there is clash. Imagine you have this big bubble of warm, moist air, and it runs right into a big bubble of cool, dry air. That collision, that's what kicks off pretty much everything we call a storm. And here's a really cool way to think about it. All that chaos and energy is really just our planet's atmosphere trying to find some balance. Nature doesn't like things to be unequal, so when you have a hot spot next to a cold spot, the atmosphere works to even things out. A storm is just its most dramatic way of doing that.
All right, so if we wanted to cook up a storm from scratch, what would we need? Well, it turns out there's a pretty basic recipe, and it only calls for 3 key ingredients.
So, step 1. You need what's called unstable air. That's basically just warm, wet air sitting underneath cool, dry air. It wants to rise. Step 2, you need moisture. A lot of it. All that water vapor is basically the fuel for making massive clouds. And finally, step 3, you need a lift. That warm air needs a little push to get the party started. It could be a mountain range forcing the air up, or even a weather front acting like a wedge, shoving that warm air skyward. But wait, something's missing from our recipe. The most powerful storms don't just go up and down, they spin. So why? And this, my friends, brings us right back to our bathtub drain. Okay, picture this. You take a full bottle of water and flip it straight upside down. What happens? It drains really slowly, right? With that glug, glug, glug sound. That's because the water trying to get out is literally fighting with the air trying to get in. It's a traffic jam. Super inefficient. But if you give that same bottle a little swirl before you flip it, a vortex forms, a tiny whirlpool. And then whoosh, the water flies out in just a few seconds. That little spinning tunnel creates a perfect, clear path for the air to go up while the water spirals down. No more traffic jam. And that is exactly what's happening in a massive storm. A vortex is nature's ultimate shortcut. It's the most efficient way to get that warm air rising and that cool air sinking. That's the secret to the spin in tornadoes and hurricanes. It's just physics finding the fastest way to get the job done. So speaking of spinning storms, let's look at the 2 heavyweights, tornadoes and hurricanes. They both spin like crazy, but trust me, they are 2 totally different beasts. Really, the biggest things to remember here are scale and stamina. A tornado is like a sprinter. It's unbelievably fast and powerful, but it's small and it's over pretty quickly. A hurricane, on the other hand, is a marathon runner. It's an absolute giant that's born over the ocean, covers a massive area, and it can just keep going for days or even weeks. And just to put that size into perspective, look at this number, 300 miles. That's the average width of a hurricane. That's wider than the entire state of Florida is at some points. A tornado, even a really big one, is just a tiny speck compared to that. In fact, and get this, a hurricane is so big and powerful that the spinning bands of rain inside it can actually start spawning their own little tornadoes. It's like a storm within a storm. But you'd never see a tornado create a hurricane. That just shows you the incredible difference in scale and power. Now, while tornadoes and hurricanes get all the attention, they are far from the only storms out there. Let's do a quick tour of a few other ways the atmosphere likes to throw a tantrum. First up, the blizzard. What makes a snowstorm a full-on blizzard isn't just the snow, it's the wind. A real blizzard has these powerful, howling winds that whip all that snow around, making it pretty much impossible to see anything. Then, in really dry places, you get dust storms. So instead of rain or snow, the wind picks up huge clouds of sand and dirt and creates this massive, rolling wall of dust that can literally swallow entire towns. And of course, we have the most common storm of them all, the good old thunderstorm. They're defined by that amazing light and sound show, lightning and thunder, all cooked up inside those huge towering clouds. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's boil it all down and lock in the most important stuff with 5 key takeaways. Here's what you need to remember. 1. Storms are born from a clash between warm, wet air and cool, dry air. 2. That spinning vortex is nature's super efficient shortcut for moving energy around. 3. Tornadoes are the small, fast sprinters that form over land. 4. Hurricanes are the giant, long-distance marathon runners born over the ocean. And 5, and this is a big one, all of this, every cloud, every storm, it all happens in the troposphere, which is the very lowest, thinnest layer of our atmosphere.
I love this quote because it really brings it all home. Even a storm as terrifying and destructive as a hurricane actually has a purpose. It acts like a giant engine, grabbing heat from the warm tropical oceans and flinging it up toward the colder parts of the planet, helping to keep Earth's temperature in balance.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. Storms aren't just random acts of violence from the sky. They're a vital part of how our planet works, constantly moving energy around. So take a second and think, what would Earth actually be like if one day all the storms just stopped? Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this gives you a new way to look at the sky the next time you see those dark clouds rolling in. It's some pretty incredible science at work up there.